You said at the end of August that the Polish government's response was inadequate. Have you heard anything better since?
Well, we've sent a letter this week, again, asking the Polish authorities to react to our previous worries on some legislation they've introduced. We did not get the response in the first instance we had hoped for. That's why we've sent another letter asking for clarifications. And if we can't get them, if we can't get any change, we will continue with our process leading to the European Court of Justice. And as far as the other issues are concerned, we are now waiting for the Polish president to make the amendments to other draft laws that he has vetoed. And we will study them once they are put on the table, and then we will see where we take it from there. I will be in a position to brief the member states about our progress on the 25th of September in the Council. And that's what I'll do. I'll just tell them, as I'm telling you now, where we are, what we intend to do. And I absolutely hope that we can finally start a real dialogue with the Polish government to solve these issues. Because, you know, the rule of law is not a luxury you can afford or not. The rule of law is essential for the functioning of the European Union. And I believe that every single European citizen deserves an independent judiciary.
What is your red line for recommending that Article 7 of the EU treaty is triggered against Poland and then subsequently possibly the withdrawal of voting rights? What would be the red line for you? How close are we to that?
I'm not going to share any red lines with you today because I still hope we can have a dialogue, a meaningful dialogue with the Polish government to make sure we solve these issues. But we've said already from the start, and I can repeat that again, that especially the issue of firing Supreme Court justices would be an extremely grave situation. So there are many, many issues. It's a complicated thing. There are many laws that require our scrutiny. There are many issues we need to discuss. There is not one single red line or trigger, but there is today a systemic threat to the rule of law in Poland. That systemic threat needs to be removed. If it is not removed, the Commission has no other option than to continue using the instruments it has at its disposal, including Article 7 of the treaty.
And just finally, is this within the power of the European Commission to fix, do you think? Because some in Poland have suggested that maybe the Commission should focus on Brexit and on other matters rather than meddling in what they see, and I use the word meddling as they've used it, in the internal business of Poland.
Well, you know, it's not that complicated. Member states have signed a treaty. That treaty has been ratified by national parliaments, including the Polish parliament. And in that treaty, there are obligations. And there's one organisation that has been charged with making sure that member states follow their obligations. That's the European Commission. You know, it's like, you know, having a football match and then saying to the referee, we don't need you, and then applying the rules like you want and saying, I'm a sovereign football player. If I want to take the ball in my hands, I can do so. It doesn't work like that. If you're in the European Union is based on rules. Those rules are entrenched in a treaty. That treaty has been signed and ratified by the member states, and the Commission is a guardian of the treaty. So if we believe member states act in violation of the treaty, we need to act. Not acting in such a case would be a dereliction of duty, and I don't want to derelict my duty.